Welcome back, boys and girls. We are so happy to be back with you today to continue our lessons on insects. My name is Miss Allison and I'm your host. This is your teacher, Miss Latondra. We can't wait to learn more about insects.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Miss Latondra and I am so excited to be learning with you all today. Today we're going to talk more about what makes an insect an insect. So let's take a look at what we will have learned at the end of this unit. So take a look at these objectives. What makes an insect an insect? So by the end of this unit, you will have learned that insects are the largest group of animals on Earth. There are many different types of insects. Insects live in nearly every habitat on Earth. What characterizes an animal as an insect? Identify and describe the three main body parts of insects and the purpose of each. And describe an exoskeleton of an insect's exoskeleton. So now let's take a look at our prediction chart. Last time we were here, we made some predictions about what makes an insect an insect. So the first prediction that we made was that all insects eat plants. Now we found out that actually cockroaches are insects, but they eat just about anything. So our prediction was not correct. We also predicted that all insects have antennae. This was our prediction, and we found out that our prediction was correct. Insects use their antenna to smell. And lastly, we predicted that all insects have wings. So today, we're going to find out if our prediction is correct. So today, we're going to continue reading to find out more about what all insects have in common. So before we get started, let's review some of our vocabulary words from last time. So the first word was antenna. I want you to say the word antenna with me 3 times. Antenna, antenna, antenna. Awesome job. Antennae are feelers attached to the head of an insect that help it sense things. Instead of a nose, a cricket uses its antenna to smell. Take a look at this next image. Do you remember where the antennae were on these insects? Did you get those correct? Awesome job. The next word is exoskeleton. Say the word exoskeleton with me 3 times. Exoskeleton, exoskeleton, exoskeleton. Awesome job. Remember, an exoskeleton is a skeleton on the outside of the body. It is the hard body covering of an insect that supports and protects it. They have a skeleton on the outside of their body. Where is our skeleton? That's right, it's on the inside of our body. Listen to this sentence using the word exoskeleton. The raindrops rolled off of the insect's waterproof exoskeleton. This is called a suit of armor. How is an exoskeleton similar to a suit of armor? That's correct. It's on the outside of the body, it's hard, and it protects what is under it. Awesome job on those vocabulary words. Now, at the end of today's lesson, we will be able to explain what makes an insect an insect. But I want you all to listen very carefully because we're going to pick up reading our story from last time. So let's take a look at our story. Hi, boys and girls. Do you remember me? I'm Cockroach. So let's pick up where we left off last time. We were about to find out where a cricket's ears are located. So listen closely as we continue reading. Look just below its knee joint on the front leg. Do you see a smooth patch of skin? That is the cricket's eardrum, which is very important for it as it communicates with other crickets through sound. The cricket's eardrum bends in and out to catch the sound waves so it can communicate with other crickets. Did you hear the word patch? It means a piece of skin covering or an opening. The word patch can also mean a small area of land where a particular plant grows, like a pumpkin patch. Insect legs vary according to an insect's lifestyle. How do you think the long, muscular back legs of a grasshopper might help it? Did you guess that right? Good job. Its legs are designed for jumping to quickly escape danger. Have you ever seen the fuzzy legs of a honeybee covered with yellow clumps of pollen that it carries back to its hive? And how do you think the back swimmer beetle's pair of long legs help it in its water habitat? Notice the oar-like shape of the legs that it uses for paddling. Caterpillars have 3 pairs of true legs on the front part of their bodies, but their long bodies need extra support, so they also have several pairs of stubby legs in back to help them cling to stems and leaves. These false legs are called prolegs. Caterpillars loop along, grasping stems with their front legs, or true legs, before drawing their bodies up into a loop to hold on with their hind legs, or prolegs. I wonder, if caterpillars have 3 pairs of true legs, how many true legs do they have? Awesome job. I see you remembered that from our last lesson. They have 6 true legs. Only adult insects have wings, and some insects don't have wings at all. If an insect does have wings, they are located on the insect's middle section, or thorax. Wings allow insects to move quickly from place to place, and they are surely one reason insects have survived in such large numbers for so many years. Insect wings may look very different from one another, but a network of veins supports each wing. When it's quiet at night, especially in the summertime, you may hear an interesting chirping noise coming from insects outside. That sound may be a cricket. Crickets' wings have veins. The veins of a male cricket's wings are thicker and shaped differently from many other insects. You'll learn more another day about how a cricket uses its wings to make its unique chirping sounds. So far, we've looked at an insect's head and its thorax. Every insect body is made up of 3 sections. What is the name of the 3rd section? Awesome job! The 3rd and largest section is called the abdomen. Do you have an abdomen? Yes, you do. Your abdomen is your belly. Like an insect, your abdomen is where you digest your food. or break it down so your body can use it to grow and stay healthy. An insect's abdomen is also the part of its body where the female produces eggs. The abdomen is also where insects breathe. Like you, insects need oxygen from the air to live, but they do not have lungs, and they do not take in their air through their noses or mouths. Instead, if you look closely at the cricket's abdomen, you will see a line of tiny holes along its side. That is where insects take in air containing oxygen to breathe. So, what makes an insect an insect? Well, it has 3 body parts: a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. It also has 6 legs, and most insects have wings, but that's not all. All insects are invertebrates, meaning that they have no backbones. Instead of having skeletons inside their bodies like you, insects wear their skeletons on the outside. Remember, these waterproof exoskeletons made of tough, flexible material are called chitin. They protect the insect's soft insides like a suit of armor. Just like your backbone and bones, an insect's exoskeleton is the thing to which the insect's muscles attach. What was that material called that insects' exoskeletons are made of? Awesome job. It's called chitin. Now, here is a picture of another one of my cousins. We cockroaches were around long before the dinosaurs. I think our thick exoskeletons may have something to do with our long survival. Don't you? Why would the cockroach's hard exoskeleton help it to survive for so long? Awesome job. That's exactly right. Probably because it protects it and it keeps it protected from danger. Awesome job, boys and girls, on that story. Thank you so much. So now what we're going to do is Miss Allison is going to come and help us to answer some more questions about our read aloud. Are you ready, Miss Allison?
Sure.
Awesome job. Boys and girls, we want you all to answer these questions along with us. So first, what did we say that all insects have in common?
I believe they have 3 body parts. They have a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. And they also have something called an exoskeleton.
That's exactly right. They have 3 body parts, remember? They have a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. And they have those exoskeletons. And remember, those exoskeletons, we just read about them. What were they made out of? I'm listening. You got it right. They are made out of material called chitin. Good job. So our next question, on what part of the cricket's body were his ears located?
This is so funny to me. His ears are on his front legs. I think they were right below his knees.
That is exactly right. His ears were right below his knees. That is very weird because our ears are below our knees. Our ears are on our head. So that is a very fun fact. So that's a good way to remember where cricket's ears are. Awesome, awesome, awesome job. So next, I want us to take a look at this next picture. So look at this picture of insect mouth parts again. Which insects bite and chew their food?
Cockroaches.
Cockroaches. That is exactly right. Cockroaches are insects that have jaws and they can bite and chew their food. And remember, last time we said that cockroaches eat just about anything. So let's take a look at our next picture. Look at this picture. How many legs do insects have?
Insects have 6 legs.
That is exactly right. They have 6 legs. But this caterpillar has many more legs than that. Is it an insect?
Yes, it is an insect. It has 6 true legs, and then the rest of their legs are called prolegs.
That's exactly right. Good job. So remember, we talked about exoskeletons. We have talked about all those different things that insects have in common, and you guys have done a wonderful, wonderful job with that. So before we go on to, we're going to play a little activity, but before we go to play our activity, I want us to, we're going to think about one of the words that we actually heard in our story. And the word that we heard in our story was microscopic. And the sentence that we heard, it said, some insects like butterflies and grasshoppers have wings, whereas others like fleas and microscopic lice do not. That word microscopic, that is a big word. Boys and girls, let's say that word together 3 times. All right, let's go. Microscopic, microscopic, microscopic. Awesome, you did an amazing job. If something is microscopic, it means that it is very, very small. Yes, very small. So small, Miss Allison, that I couldn't look at it with my eyes. I would need a special tool, probably a microscope. Yes, that's what I would need, a microscope to be able to see it. Awesome. So some things like germs that cause some diseases are they are microscopic. So we can't see them with our eyes. So we need a microscope in order to be able to see them. So remember from our story, we said some things were microscopic. I'm going to give you a chance to think about that. And I want you to tell me some examples from our read aloud of some things or some insects that were microscopic. I hear some great answers. We remembered that fleas, and also they're called microscopic lice because they're microscopic. They're very, very small. Good job. So I want you to repeat the word again. What's the word that we're learning about? Microscopic. You got it. Good job. So the opposite or the antonym of the word microscopic is gigantic. It is gigantic. So if microscopic means very, very small, I wonder, what does gigantic mean?
I think it's very, very big.
That's exactly right. Something that's microscopic is very, very small. So if it's gigantic, which is the opposite, then it will be very, very big or very, very large. Good job. So let's play a short activity with our new words. We're going to play an activity, and what we are going to do is, when I'm going to give you an example of some things, and if it's microscopic, then you're going to say microscopic, and you're also going to make this motion right here. That means it's really, really, really little. And if it's something that's gigantic, you're going to say the word, you're going to say it is gigantic, and you're going to make this hand motion of something that's very big or it's gigantic. Okay? Are you ready to get started? All right, let's go. Are you ready, Miss Allison?
I'm ready.
All right. So the first one is a building that is 40 stories tall.
Ooh, that is gigantic.
Awesome job, boys and girls. Did you get that one? That is gigantic. Good job. What about an insect that we can't see crawling through the soil?
That is microscopic.
I think that's correct. That is microscopic. If I can't see it crawling through the soil, it must be really, really little or really, really small. What about the sun?
The sun is definitely gigantic.
You almost tricked me, Miss Allison. That's exactly right. I thought she was going to say microscopic, but it is very large, so it is gigantic. Awesome, awesome job. What about the Pacific Ocean?
Oh, I've seen the Pacific Ocean, and it is definitely gigantic.
That's exactly right. Once you look at the ocean, it is so big, you can't even see the end of it. So it is gigantic. Awesome. What about a single grain of sand on the beach?
Definitely microscopic.
That is definitely microscopic. It is really small. Awesome job. Thank you, boys and girls. You did such an amazing job on that activity. So now that we've done that, let's go back and review our prediction chart. So we predicted that all insects eat plants. We found out that our prediction was not correct. Cockroaches are insects, but they eat just about anything. We also predicted that all insects have antennae. We found out that yes, insects use their antenna to smell, so they all have antenna. Our last prediction, we said that all insects have wings. Now, we just read about that one. Do we remember whether or not our prediction was correct? Awesome job. We found out that no, only adult insects have wings, and some insects don't have wings at all. So our prediction wasn't correct, but we learned so much in our lesson today, and I am so glad that you all joined us.
Thank you for joining us today. All rights and credits from this lesson belong to Core Knowledge Language Arts. We would like to thank them for publicly sharing these materials with us.
Yes, so boys and girls, use what you've learned today and go tell someone about the things that all insects have in common. If you are interested in reading more about insects, check out these books on the screen. You can see them at your local library or online. Thank you so much for joining us.